In a world where high-tech farming and synthetic fertilizers dominate agriculture, a quiet revolution still thrives in a peaceful countryside. Here, among the rolling hills and clip-clop of horse-drawn buggies, the Amish have perfected a different way. One that doesn't require modern machines or laboratory-made chemicals. And yet, these simple living farmers grow tomatoes the size of softballs, sometimes even bigger. Their secret? It isn't a secret at all. It's a relationship, one built over centuries, with the land, with the seasons, and with a belief that working in harmony with nature produces not only better food, but a better life. Today on Buckeye Bloomstead, we delve into the secrets to growing tomatoes like the Amish. Bigger, better, naturally. How do they grow giants without chemicals? We'll explore their soil wisdom, seed-saving techniques, watering strategies, compost practices, and how all of it results in massive, meaty tomatoes bursting with flavor. These are lessons from the past with powerful relevance for today. Stewardship, not strategy. The Amish don't label their farming practices organic or sustainable. To them, it's simply stewardship, a sacred responsibility passed down through generations. Their faith teaches that the earth is God's creation, and it's their job to tend it without exploiting it. So when you visit an Amish tomato patch, you won't find plastic mulch, chemical fertilizers, or grow lights. You'll find healthy soil, thriving plants, and hands in the dirt. Tomatoes in Amish gardens often weigh over 2 pounds, with some tipping the scale at 4. But they're not just big. They're dense, flavorful, and meaty. That's no accident. It's the result of intentional cultivation methods rooted in centuries of hands-on experience. Ask any Amish farmer the secret to growing giant tomatoes, and they'll likely point down. Soil is everything, they'll tell you. Not dirt. Soil. Living, breathing soil rich in organic matter, teeming with earthworms, microbes, and fungal networks. That's the real powerhouse behind every great tomato. Crop rotation plays a crucial role. Amish farmers rarely plant tomatoes in the same spot year after year. Instead, they rotate with corn, beans, grains, and hay. This breaks pest cycles and prevents nutrient depletion. Composting is an art form. Horse and cow manure, kitchen scraps, straw, even shredded newspaper are layered and aged until they smell sweet, not sour. The compost isn't rushed. Like good bread, it takes time. Minimal tillage and maximum respect. Modern farming turns soil with heavy machinery. Amish farmers, they use gentle tilling methods, often with horse-drawn equipment. The goal is to disturb only the top few inches, preserving soil structure and fungal networks. Earthworms thrive under this care. A single acre of Amish soil can host up to 1 million worms. Their castings enrich the soil with nutrients plants can readily absorb. Add a thick layer of mulch on top, straw, hay, or even shredded paper, and the result is weed suppression, moisture retention, and insulation for delicate roots. Let's talk about pH balance and natural amendments. Tomatoes love slightly acidic soil, somewhere around 6.2 to 6.8 pH. Instead of commercial products, Amish farmers adjust pH naturally. Wood ash raises it, pine needles lower it. These amendments act slowly and avoid shocking plants, supporting long-term soil health. Over time, these fields don't degrade, they improve. Amish land under continuous cultivation for over 200 years is still producing rich harvests. It's farming that regenerates, not depletes. Seeds of the ancestors. The Amish treat seeds like gold. Heirloom varieties rule the tomato patch. Brandywine, German Johnson, Mortgage Lifter. Names passed down through families just like the seeds themselves. Each fall, the biggest, best-tasting, most resilient tomatoes are set aside. Seeds are carefully saved, dried, and labeled. After just a few generations, these seeds adapt to local conditions, resisting pests, thriving in Midwest heat, and producing dependable yields. Cross-pollination is welcomed when it happens naturally. Promising new hybrids are nurtured and evaluated. If they pass the test, they're added to the seed vault, diversity that strengthens the community. The Amish way to plant. The Amish don't just plant, they observe. They watch for signs. Blooming dogwoods, buzzing bees, singing birds, clues from nature that the soil is ready. No apps, no frost calculators. Tomato plants are buried deep, sometimes laid sideways in trenches. This promotes extensive root growth. Natural amendments go into the hole: eggshells for calcium, bone meal for phosphorus, wood ash for potassium. Spacing is generous, aiming for size, not quantity. A few 2-pound tomatoes will feed a family better than a dozen watery 6-ounce fruits. Watering with wisdom. Water makes up 95% of a tomato's weight, so it matters. Amish farms don't rely on electricity. Instead, rain barrels collect water from rooftops. Drip irrigation systems, often gravity-fed, deliver water right to the plant's base. No waste, no leaf wetting. Early morning is the preferred watering time. The soil absorbs moisture before heat arrives, and leaves dry before dusk, reducing disease risk. Mulch helps here too, conserving water and reducing frequency. A simple finger test tells if it's time to water. The wisdom beneath our feet. The Amish approach to growing tomatoes isn't just about old-fashioned charm. It's about resilience. About knowing the land and respecting it. About feeding families, not factories. In a world chasing efficiency, sometimes the most effective method is the one that listens, observes, and works in harmony with nature. These giant tomatoes, grown without machines or chemicals, are proof that simpler doesn't mean lesser. It means wiser. Amish tomato care and support methods. Now that we've covered the careful dance of watering, how much, when, and how often, let's look at the next key to growing Amish-style tomato giants: how they support their plants. Supporting tomato plants may seem straightforward. Tie them to a stake and off they go. But for the Amish, even this is done with intention, patience, and old-world ingenuity. Staking and support methods. Rather than using store-bought cages or metal trellises, many Amish gardeners rely on materials found right on the homestead. Wooden stakes carved from saplings, natural twine made from jute or hemp, and even woven willow branches formed into sturdy cradles. They know that tomato plants, especially indeterminate varieties prized for their giant fruits, can become unwieldy. Left to sprawl on the ground, the plants invite disease, pests, and fruit rot. Staking early prevents damage later. Amish farmers often drive strong wooden stakes, sometimes 6 feet tall, into the ground just after planting, before roots spread too far. The plant is then tied gently as it grows, always leaving room for expansion, so the stem isn't strangled as it thickens. Some use what's known as the Florida weave technique, a time-tested method using horizontal twine between stakes that support multiple plants in a tidy row. It's simple, affordable, and time-efficient, perfect for large gardens. Pruning for power. Next comes the art of pruning. Amish farmers don't leave this to chance. While some backyard growers hesitate to cut back tomato plants, the Amish understand that less can sometimes mean more. By carefully removing the lower leaves and the suckers, those little shoots that appear in the joint between a stem and a branch, they redirect the plant's energy. Instead of feeding a tangled mess of greenery, the plant pours its strength into fruit production. The result? Fewer but far larger and healthier tomatoes. Pruning also increases airflow, reducing the risk of mold and mildew. And when you're growing without the luxury of synthetic fungicides, prevention is everything. Natural pest management. You might be wondering, what about pests? Without chemicals, how do Amish gardeners protect their prize-winning tomatoes? The answer is observation, early intervention, and companion planting. Tomato hornworms are a known menace, but many Amish farmers know the value of hand-picking. Walk through their gardens early in the morning, and you'll often see them inspecting the leaves with keen eyes. Any caterpillars spotted are quickly removed, sometimes even fed to chickens. Now, let me share a little trick we use here on the homestead. It's not necessarily something the Amish are known to do, but for those of us who like to combine old-fashioned growing with a touch of modern ingenuity, it works like a charm. The tomato hornworm is a voracious little green caterpillar that can strip your prized tomato plants overnight, literally, leaving you with chewed-up leaves and frustration. Here's the secret. Go hunting with a black light. That's right, under ultraviolet light, like the kind from a small handheld black light flashlight, hornworms glow in the dark with an eerie neon green. It makes spotting them at night almost fun. Almost. So after the sun sets, head out to your tomato patch. Shine that black light near the stems, the undersides of leaves, and along the soil line. The hornworms will practically reveal themselves to you. No squinting required. We use this trick a couple of times a week during peak season, and it's one of the best organic pest control methods we've found. No sprays, no chemicals, just a flashlight and a bit of nighttime sleuthing. If you have chickens, feed them to your chickens come morning. They will love them. And trust me, when you catch a few of those glowing culprits before they do real damage, it's mighty satisfying. To discourage pests in the first place, Amish gardeners plant protective allies nearby: basil, marigolds, nasturtiums, and even garlic. These aromatic plants confuse insects, masking the scent of tomatoes and making it harder for pests to zero in. Diatomaceous earth, a fine powder made from fossilized algae, is sometimes used sparingly. Safe for humans and pets, it's deadly to soft-bodied insects and a favorite among natural gardeners. Disease prevention without chemicals. Now let's talk about something every tomato grower dreads: blight. Because they don't rely on commercial fungicides, Amish farmers must prevent problems before they start. They do this by choosing disease-resistant heirloom varieties, rotating crops every year, and spacing plants generously to allow for airflow. They also never water from above. Water splashed onto the leaves can spread fungal spores. That's why drip irrigation and ground-level watering are so critical. Mulch again plays a powerful role. A thick mulch barrier prevents soil-borne pathogens from splashing onto leaves during rain and suppresses weeds that could harbor disease. In some communities, you might even find gardeners brewing compost tea, a nutrient-rich liquid made by steeping finished compost in water. This tea can be sprayed on leaves to boost microbial life and fend off harmful organisms, almost like a natural immune system for the plant. Harvesting with care. When harvest time comes, it's not about grabbing the ripest tomato and yanking it off the vine. Amish farmers harvest with reverence. They often use small baskets lined with cloth, avoiding bruising or tearing the fruit. They don't rush. They inspect each tomato, harvesting only when the fruit is just firm enough but fully colored. Overripe tomatoes are used quickly for sauces and canning. Underripe ones are left a day or two more. It's a rhythm learned over years and passed from parent to child. Preservation. Nothing goes to waste. Amish waste nothing. Giant tomatoes are sliced, skinned, and canned in steaming kitchens by the dozen. Others are simmered into thick sauces or dehydrated and stored in glass jars for winter stews. Some families make sun-dried tomatoes the old-fashioned way, on wire racks under muslin cloth in the warm afternoon sun, flipping them daily until they reach chewy perfection. By season's end, nearly every tomato has been eaten, preserved, shared, or sold, each one a product of care, tradition, and a deeply rooted respect for the land. So next time you're out in the garden, looking at your tomato plants and wondering if they'll ever reach the size of those Amish-grown giants, remember, it's not magic. It's not chemicals. It's wisdom, patience, and care. And every gardener, yes, even you, can apply these principles and watch the transformation unfold. Now, let's wrap this up. As we've seen, the secrets to growing tomatoes like the Amish don't lie in expensive gadgets or store-bought solutions. They lie in patience, observation, and a reverence for the soil. Something many of us could use a little more of these days. From seed selection to soil stewardship, water wisdom to sun-drying the harvest, each step is a reminder that working with nature, rather than against it, brings the best rewards. So whether you garden in a big backyard or just a humble plot behind the house, I hope today's journey leaves you inspired to slow down, dig deeper, and grow something extraordinary. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps us reach more folks who might need a little encouragement on their gardening path. And don't forget to subscribe to Buckeye Bloomstead for more tips, stories, and old-fashioned know-how from our homestead to yours. Leave us a comment below and let us know, what's your favorite tomato variety to grow, and what's the biggest one you've ever harvested? And as always, thank you for joining us today on Buckeye Bloomstead. May your hands stay busy, your soil stay rich, and your garden continue to bloom.